Once you've found the source of the leak, it's necessary to stop refrigerant from escaping. To do this, you have to braze the copper tubing where the leak was identified. Brazing is a joining process in which two metals are joined together by melting and flowing a filler metal into the joint. To do this, the copper must be heated using an oxygen acetylene torch and filled with silver alloy rods. This alloy contains 15 to 60% silver and burns at 1,000 to 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Before beginning the brazing process, it's important to consider the potential hazards involved and use appropriate PPE. The heat of the acetylene flame can reach 6,200 degrees Fahrenheit, and exposure to this heat can instantly ignite most material. The torch cylinders also pose a risk because they're stored at high pressures, and you must use caution when handling them. Before beginning the brazing process, make sure all refrigerant has been removed from the system. Since this is a small hole in the line set, it's not necessary to cut the tubing, just wipe the parts with a rag. Then use sandpaper to remove the oxide layer. Failure to do so will affect the ability of the alloy to spread out and adhere to the surface. When you're ready to begin, set the pressures on the acetylene and oxygen tanks. To do this, open the main valve on the oxygen until it's fully open, and half turn on the main valve for the acetylene. The pressure on the acetylene tank should be 5 to 7 psi, and the oxygen should be 5 to 10 psi. Open the acetylene knob on the torch and use a striker to ignite it. Open the knob for the oxygen and adjust both acetylene and oxygen pressures until you have a light blue colored flame. Begin heating the tube. Once the tube starts changing color, touch the rod to the tube. If it melts, start covering the hole. If the hole was under the tube, use a mirror to make sure the area has been brazed properly. Once the leak is repaired, it's important to clean the area and insulate the copper tubing. The next step is to test the repair. The following video will show how to test a leak with nitrogen.